Hi, I'm Annie Winterburn. I'm a driving instructor trainer, and I'm a theory test expert, and I'm here to make theory easy for you. Today's lesson, I want to cover motorway signs. There are a few signs that you need to know to answer theory test questions, so let's go through them together. Question number 1. What does this sign mean? Is it end of dual carriageway, end of motorway, leave the motorway, or start of motorway? Do you know the answer? Well, you can see the two carriageways and you can see the red slash going through it. So this sign is telling you you're at the end of the motorway. It's in a rectangle shape and it's blue. Blue rectangle shaped signs are used on motorways. That's a really good thing to remember to help you answer lots of other theory test questions. If you see this sign here, it's telling you you're at the start of a motorway, and this one here with the red slash is telling you you're at the end of the motorway. Next question. What does the 25 mean? They're asking about this 25 in a black box. Is it number of the motorway, number of the miles to the next junction, number of the next junction, or number of minutes to the next junction? Do you know the answer? Well, the answer to this question is number of the next junction. Every motorway exit has a different junction number. So if you get onto a motorway at the very start of the motorway, the first time you can get off the motorway, the first exit, that would be junction 1, and there'll be a number 1 inside a black box. If you don't get off at junction 1, you keep on driving for another few miles, the next junction would be junction 2, and there'll be a number 2 inside a black box. And it's really great, it's really helpful, because let's say you're going to visit a friend and your friend says to you, go down the M6 and get off at junction 25. When you get to junction 24, you know the next junction will be the one that you're getting off at. Next question. What do these signs mean? Are they countdown markers to a concealed level crossing, mile markers, countdown markers to a motorway exit, or half-mile markers? So these are also to help you know where your next exit is. You'll see 3, 2 and 1. You'll see the 3 lines first, telling you you're 300 yards away from the exit, and then 2 lines when you're 200 yards away, and then 1 line when you're 100 yards away from the next exit. And these are blue rectangles. Blue rectangle signs are on a motorway. So they're countdown markers to the next motorway exit. Next question. What does this sign mean? Is it a lane for large, slow vehicles, a lane for cars and motorbikes, a lane for motorway services, or a lane for a motorway exit? So you'll see this sign when you're on a steep uphill slope. And when you're on a steep uphill slope, big, large, heavy vehicles get slower and slower and slower, and they hold us up. So sometimes there'll be an extra lane, and it's called a crawler or a climbing lane. Think of climbing uphill to help you remember, or crawling uphill to help you remember. So this sign is a lane for large, slow vehicles, and you'll find it on a steep incline. Next question. What does a red X over your lane mean? Is it drive slowly in this lane, lane open, stop, or lane closed? What do you think it means, a red X? If there's a red X over the lane that you're driving in, that means that lane is closed. You can't drive any further in that lane, so you'll have to move to another lane. So a red X over your lane means your lane is closed. So we've just covered a question asking what does a red X over your lane mean? This is asking you, what about if there's a red X over all lanes? What does that mean? Is it leave the motorway at the next exit? All traffic must stop. All traffic must slow down or change lane. What do you think the answer is? Well, remember, a red X over your lane means your lane is closed. So therefore, a red X over all lanes means all lanes are closed. So what you must do is stop. All traffic must stop. There must be some kind of incident, accident, crash ahead of you. You can't drive any further in any of the lanes. Next question. What does this sign mean? So these temporary signs in lights. There's a 50 over one lane, a 50 over the other lane, and an arrow in the furthest right-hand lane. Is it traffic in the right lane move? Traffic in the left lane move? Traffic in all lanes 50 mile per hour limit? Or traffic in the middle and right lanes 50 mile per hour limit? So you can see the left lane and the middle lane has got a 50 over them. So left and middle lanes, the speed limit, the fastest you're allowed to go in those lanes is 50 miles per hour. The furthest right-hand lane has got an arrow going towards the middle lane. So it's telling you to move lane. So this arrow means traffic in the right-hand lane move. You must change lane. You can't drive in lane 3. Next question. What does this sign mean? This is another temporary sign that's in lights. Is it telling you to leave the motorway immediately, move to the left-hand lane, move to the right-hand lane, or leave the motorway at the next exit? Do you know this sign? How can you remember that? It's telling you to keep on driving forwards and then leave the motorway over to the left at the next exit with an arrow. And you can see it looks a little bit like a capital L. If you think of L for leave, that's a really good way of remembering what this sign means. Next question. What does this sign mean? Middle and left lanes are open. All lanes are closed. Middle and right lanes are closed, or middle and left lanes are closed. Well, you can see it's showing you 1, 2, 3 lanes. There are 3 lanes of traffic. Lane 1 is open. Lane 2 and lane 3, they are closed. So this sign means the middle and the right lanes are closed. Next question. What does this sign mean? Is it change to the left lane? Contraflow? Do not move lane or leave at the next exit? Do you know this sign? So this sign is a contraflow sign. Contra means against and flow refers to the way the traffic is flowing. So contraflow means against the flow. Let me show you. So this picture is showing you a typical 3-lane motorway. There's 3 lanes for traffic going up the road and 3 lanes for traffic coming down the road. Now let's just say that there starts to be road works on this side of the road. There's people over this side doing road works. So now this side of the motorway only has 1 running lane. So what they'll do is make a gap in the central reservation, and they'll get some cars to go through the gap and they'll drive on the wrong side of the motorway. They're driving against the flow of the regular traffic. That means contraflow. Other cars will stay on this side of the motorway. Because it's a contraflow system, because there's roadworks, there'll be cones out, the lanes will be narrower, they'll reduce the speed limit, and they'll ask you to keep a good distance from the vehicle in front of you. And you shouldn't be changing lanes. You should choose a lane early and stay in that lane. I hope that's helped and you now understand those few motorway signs. Don't need to struggle with your theory test. I have a theory test course. It's an online course that gives you absolutely everything that you need. It's really important that you understand the theory of driving, not just memorise answers to questions. There won't even be the same questions in your real theory test. So it's important to get a proper understanding, and you can do that in my course. There's over 100 video tutorials, there's fact lists and worksheets, all the licensed questions and case studies. There's topic and full mock tests, hazard perception practice clips and games to play. There's absolutely everything that you need to pass your theory test in Theory Test course. I hope you've enjoyed this motorway signs lesson. Please subscribe to me and don't miss out on my next lesson.